Give your official new meta report for the OCG. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So welcome to Metagame Report number 1 for the new year here, where it is new format, new me. And keep in mind, yesterday we did talk about the state of the OCG. You know, we're getting slightly less info, but it's not enough that, you know, things are greatly dropping off. It's just a little bit of a shifteroo in what's happening. So this report will tabulate 136 or 137 top performing decks across China, Indonesia, South Korea, and Japan. So your metagame breakdown is as follows here. We have 13.1% of this field is now Mitsurugi. Does that mean that, you know, Mitsurugi is the best deck in the room? Yes, by about a little bit over a lot of the population. Now, keep in mind this 13% was 18 Mitsurugi, was 11 Pure, 2 Fallen, 2 Fiendsmith, 2 Ryzel, and a Fiendsmith Nekroz Mitsurugi. I don't know who came up with that crazy idea, but more power to you, I suppose. We also had 16 Dracotail, 13 of which were branded, 2 were Fallen Magus Dracotails, and then there was just 1 pure Dracotail deck. I'm actually kind of surprised that somebody took up the idea in the helm here that they wanted to try to play, you know, just one off-putting Dracotail. Sure. Now, we did have 13, which was 9.5% of these decks, was Sky Striker. You know what's impressive about that? I actually just got messaged by somebody asking why Sky Striker was a relevant deck. You know, why is this deck still doing things? This deck breaks apart boards, going second, and then just OTKs you right there on the spot, or decombobulates your board to the point that you actually do not get the chance to play the game. So that has been the reason why Sky Striker has been performing so well. The deck is just really good at tearing down boards and just putting you into such a good position. It's not that surprising, honestly. 12 K9 Vanquish, so I think I'm more surprised to see that this pile is actually performing and doing well right now. Deck looks pretty solid, honestly. Now, we also had 9 Yummy variants. We had 4 Yummy, 3 Tri-Brigade Yummy, a Millennium Yummy, and a Mitsurugi Yummy. Tri-Brigade Yummy was something that I'm not surprised to see coming up because, you know, everything's a beast. You know, you're able just to fuel off and get access into the Tri-Brigade stuff, which opens up the door to, you know, further consistency options. I don't think that that's too terrible. We also had 5.1% of our field, or 5.8 being branded, which, I mean, 2 Grass branded, a Dracotail branded, and 5 branded. It's kind of crazy that this does have that overlap with Dracotail, so there's your classification of that. We also had 7 Radiant Typhoon, one of which was a Fiendsmith Radiant Typhoon, and then we had Malice. Malice is still running around out here, guys. You've not seen Malice exiting the room, even though, you know, they have some very, very harsh restrictions placed on them. Now, what about the other decks that were basically covered here? So we had 5 Orcust variants. We had 4 DD, which is kind of cool, actually, because DD has not left the building. It's still kind of a consistent monster. We also had 4 Exosister, 3 Atlantean. We also had 3 Blue Eyes, which we also had one of these was a Buster Blade or Primite Blue Eyes deck. You know, being able to convert everything your opponent has to Durgan and then basically lock them out of playing the game via that is pretty good. We also had 3 Elven Notes, which all these Elven Notes variants are different. We also had 1 Elven Notes, 1 Bestial Fallen, and then a Fiendsmith Elven Notes. And we had 3 White Forest. We also had 2 Crystron, 2 K9, one of which was a Constellar K9, which I'm pretty sure we did see that one floating around. We also had Sulfur 1 Doomsy, 1 Fiendsmith Magnet Warrior, 1 Cool Tune, a Lunalite, a Magnet Warrior Adamantipator, a Psychic Punk, Salamangrate Shadal, the Shining Sarcophagus Primite Dark Magician pile, which that is an entire pile. We also had Tellarknights, Voiceless Voice Novelez, Yummy Purely, and a Yummy Tri-Brigade deck. It's interesting that these variants were kept a little bit out of the Yummy pool up here, because I feel like those would be variants that I'd be chalking into those, which would be raising up the number for that. But I mean, overall, everything that you're looking at here is pretty solid, honestly. I don't really see any real issues to be had here. Now, let's go talk about Mitsurugi down here, because this deck has changed quite a lot. So, End of the World Ruler is a new ritual monster from the Duelist Box Prismatic Summons that provides a huge boost to ritual decks. End of the World Ruler's second effect can be activated by revealing itself, paying 2k, banishing a spell card from the deck as cost to apply that ritual spell's activation effect. That ritual summons a monster. So End of the World Ruler is a starter when paired with another Mitsurugi Ritual monster. End of the World Ruler can ritual summon Mitsurugi Ritual monster from the hand by banishing Mitsurugi Ritual from the deck. The Mitsurugi Ritual monster will be ritual summoned by tributing Mitsurugi no Mikoto Kusanagi and Mikoto Saji from the deck. Mitsurugi no Mikoto Kusanagi's effect would add Mitsurugi Ritual from banishment, and then Saji would trigger to add prayers to the hand. And then End of the Ruler, by banishing a ritual spell at cost activated, its effect becomes beneficial to Mitsurugi, as Mitsurugi Kusanagi's effect is able to retrieve it. Since End of the Ruler's effect applies the ritual effect, is not treated as using that ritual spell, enabling the same Mitsurugi ritual effect to be applied twice. This relevant ruling during the turn activated Mitsurugi ritual can be selected for the first and second effects again. So, clarification there, yes. You get to do Mitsurugi ritual basically 3 times in the turn. So this is basically what you're looking at. For this, you can see that they've been forced to kind of extend out the ritual monsters for the deck here, which I think is fine, alright? Like, your job is just to be able to get these guys beamed out, and, you know, your big guy is going to cover up most of what you need. You do see we are also still relying on Gallant Granite down here to kind of be a nice little chain enabler for us to keep going, which is not bad. So that's the state of that. Draco Tail. The loss of 2 copies of Draco Tail Malulu saw 2 adjustments in the Draco Tail deck. More copies of Agurla and Draco Tail Pan were played to maintain the amount of Draco Tail monsters at around 11 to 13 copies in the main deck. And more copies of Blazing Cartesi were also supplemented to supplement the fusion summon effect for Draco Tail Malulu provided. So, kind of hilarious, but I mean, that does work. This ended up being a first place list out of a 3v3. Basically, as you do see, you just kind of slot in the extra monsters. And yeah, I understand, you know, you did lose some Draco Tail names. You do lose some of that consistency that you got going for it, but it doesn't make the deck bad. It just means that we have to see some supplementing in order to maximize some further results. Sky Striker. With the decline of Yummy and Malice, effect negation, such as Effect Valor and Infinite Permanence, are seeing an increase in builds. Dimensional Barrier remains a key tech in the side deck against Mitsurugi and Draco Tail, which, guess what, we don't have access to that, so that doesn't really matter. So this was a first place finish out of 120 duelists. You see we are playing Psychonos. We're doing Veilers and Ashes in the main deck. You are going with the Triple Fallen and Virtuous because that's just the choices that you have to do. And, I mean, it must be nice to get to play Dimensional Barrier. Vanquish Soul. With Rosin Limited on the 1025 list and Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring semi-limited, there's a lack of fire attribute in the main deck. Many players are running a small Rescue Ace package consisting of 3 Impulse and Fire Attacker to supplement that. Wow, that's what the TCG was doing. Impulse is a warrior, so it also comes with a secondary option for being a Rota target to add to the hand after Rosin. This went 5-1-1, finishing finishing first. Okay. So you do see that we are supplementing in that package. It's just extra fire targets. It's nothing crazy. So conclusion. The initial week of the OCG January 1st list, Mitsurugi and Branded Draco Tail remain on the top for contenders. With the weakening of Yummy and Malice, the format opens up for Sky Striker and K9 Vanquish Soul to shift up. So that is actually very, very interesting. We already knew that Mitsurugi was running around as the absolute crackpot, crazy powerhouse that this card was, man. Like, we knew damn well that this was going to be the deck. And I'm actually surprised to see how well Draco Tail is performing. It's almost like that deck is just not going anywhere anytime soon. So, congratulations to the massive shift in power within the structure of the meta. You love to see it. So, please guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I look forward to seeing what other madness is to come in the shifting of the meta. You guys have a good rest of your day, right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.